We are back for another year of competition dance makeup with Avery. So the most important thing in competitive dance makeup is that you have a really heavy base. Blush, bronzer, we're doing neutral eyeshadow, you have to have lashes, and we're going to just show you how I do all of that on Avery in this video. I'm not a professional, but I do a lot of dance makeup because I have 2 girls in dance, so I've done it for a lot of years now. And I'll show you the products that I use. You don't have to use the products that I use, but I will show you what I use in case you need recommendations. So we'll start out, I don't use primer, I use setting spray, but that's your preference. If you want to start out with a primer, you can do that. I start out with foundation. I use the Super Stay Maybelline. Okay, now that we have her foundation on, I'll go straight into concealer. I use Tarte Shape Tape. You can use whatever brand you want. This is my favorite. So we put that under her eyes, at the edge there too. And then I'll highlight these points of her face too. I use a little beauty blender for under the eye. Reaches up under there a little bit better. Okay, we want this makeup to last for however long the competition day is, through all the outfit changes and sweat and all that fun stuff. So we're gonna set it, I use Maybelline Fit Me powder. All the Maybelline base products are really good, so you can use what products you want to. I really like Maybelline. So I set her under eyes with a lighter color and kind of her nose a little bit there too. Like this shade I'm using is 05. It's like the lightest one they have. So I set under her eyes with lighter powder, and then I also will go in, turn to the side, and I set right under her cheekbone with a lighter color, just like this. And I don't blend it in yet because I want it to kind of bake a little bit. So I'll kind of leave that just like that.
I look like a ghost.
Mm-hmm. And then I go in with a darker Maybelline powder, and I'll just dust this all over just to set the rest of her face before we go in with bronzing products. Sometimes I will use cream bronzer. I'll go ahead and show you guys that in case anybody wants to go that route. This is just from e.l.f. cream bronzer. I don't always do this step. Sometimes I just use powder. I like powder products better, but that's just personal preference. Okay, then I'll take that darker shade of the Maybelline loose powder and just dust it with a big powder brush all over her face. This part gets messy, so I would do this before you get costumes on for sure. Or use a cover up. Okay, the main part of her base is done. We're going to start bringing life back to her face. So I'll start out with bronzing powder. This is my favorite, Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. So don't forget to go on the neck with this because we want their face to be seamless with their neck and the rest of their body. So we don't want that harsh line. So I put this on her neck, on her cheeks, and around her forehead. So this isn't contour, this is just bronzer. This is just bringing life back. I'll get the contour in just a second. Okay, continuing on, I use Too Faced contour powder. So I take a little bit more of a dense brush so I get a little bit more pigment, and I'll start contouring her face. So I take this and I put it on her cheekbone here, on the cheekbone and a little bit above. You don't ever want to go below because then it gets kind of weird. And then I'll circle it up into her temple, her hairline, same thing over here, cheekbone, temple, hairline. I put a little bit under her lower lip, and then her jawline. I will follow her jawline with it at first, and then I'll pull it down. And then I take a smaller brush, just like a little eyeshadow blending brush is what I use, and I put contour powder on that and shape her little nose. Okay, so that is contour. Now we're gonna start blush. Blush is something that you should feel like you have way too much of, because on stage it'll wash out. On stage it'll look right if you have too much. You do not want to not have enough blush on, because it definitely washes out under the stage lights. So me personally, I take a cream bronzer first. I put the cream on. Oh, sorry, cream blush. I do cream blush first. And I start at the apple and then pull it back.
What's an apple?
Your cheek.
My cheek.
And then I'll do the same thing over here. Start at the apple and then I pull it back. And I put some on the nose. This is all still just the cream blush. After I have cream blush on, I take a powder blush. This is just a Wet n Wild one that I use. All this makeup has seen better days, so just use what you got. This is the Wet n Wild powder blush that I like, and I put the powder blush over the cream blush to set it. So everywhere that I put cream blush, I'll put powder blush on the nose, but then I also take the powder blush and just kind of brush it along the forehead and along the chin to tie the face all together. It looks really good. All right, so your child may or may not need help with eyebrows. My girls have a really weird shape of eyebrow. Thank their dad for that. So I kind of just brush through theirs. I'm not gonna actually put product in their eyebrows this year. I'm just gonna use a clear brow gel and brush them. But you can feel free to pencil your girls in or pomade or whatever you need to do. We also need highlight. So this is, again, Wet n Wild powder highlight that I like to use. You can use whatever brand you like. I have lots of different brands. This is just the one I've been using. The shade of this is I Met Someone. I take the gold and the pink and put it at the tops. Get their nose and their Cupid's bow. Okay, so this is a lot of makeup. This is a lot of makeup, but I promise under the stage lights, this will look exactly right. So the next thing we're gonna move on to is eyes. This is my absolute favorite eyeshadow palette for myself and for dance competitions, cheer competitions, everything I do, I use this palette, and it's only like $9 from ColourPop. I'm gonna start with this top shade, the lightest shade, just to put some color on her lid. Turn to me. Okay, so I put just a tiny bit of these two shades together just to get some color started on her lid. I'm gonna go ahead, I use my finger for this. You can use a different brush if you want to, but I am going to take this shimmery, light shimmery color and put it on her eyelids. Okay, I'm going to take this bottom color and this color and kind of mix them a little bit and start working in the crease of her eye. So just right here in the crease. My kids have tiny eyelids, so this may be easier on older ones for sure. But just windshield wiper motions, I work that in the crease. Okay, that looks pretty good. What I'm going to do is put just a little bit of concealer on the inner part of her eyelid, and then put some more shimmer on top of that just to brighten it up. So close your eye. I'm just putting a tiny bit of concealer right here on the very inside. I'm going to take a small blending brush and just blend that concealer out right there. And then redo that shimmer in the middle, or in the inside. It'll make it pop just a little bit more. You see? Okay, now what I want to do is take this bottom corner here. I'm going to really work it into the corner of her eyes to make sure they're defined. Again, we're not trying to pack makeup on just to pack makeup on. We do it so that they don't lose their facial features under the stage lights. All right, just like this. The last thing I'm going to do with this eyeshadow palette is take that bottom color again, and I'm going to put a line underneath on the bottom lash line. So look up. Just right under her lash line, I'm just going to brush that color. The next thing is black liner. You have to have black liner. If you do not have black liner, it's not going to look like you have enough makeup on your eyes. So I take a black liquid liner. I'm just going to put a thin line along her upper lash line. I'm just using Lash Paradise by L'Oreal. It's my favorite mascara. Any mascara is good because you're going to have false lashes on anyway. So I like to put mascara on before I put the lashes on, just my personal preference. Okay, so she blinked really hard and got a little bit underneath, so that's actually perfect. I'll show you how to fix that. You let it dry, so I am going to let it sit there for a second, but it comes off really easy with a spoolie, so if that happens, don't freak out. While that's drying though, I want to show you, this is an extra step, but it does make a big difference. This goes in the waterline, look up. This is Tarte Fake Awake. Okay, that makes a big difference in just keeping their eyeballs looking awake. And then we will put an inner corner highlight. I have this one from ColourPop called Tassel. You can use any light shimmery shade. And I will just put that right on the inner corner. And I do it pretty generously. I don't hold back on that one. I put a whole bunch in there. Okay, let me see. Okay, and I think for funsies, I'm gonna put some shimmer up here on her brow bone. Okay, to get that mascara off, look up. I'm taking just a regular spoolie. You can also do this with a Q-tip, but it just scratches right off. And then you can take powder brush, wipe away the excess, like it never happened. Perfect. Okay, so this is basically the face all done. Eyes are all done except for lashes. I'm not doing lashes today because it's just a practice day. If it was a competition or an event day, I would wear these lashes. These are what I recommend. This is what Miss Miranda recommends. They're the easiest. You can wear whatever brand of lashes you want, but I will tell you, if lashes are something that you struggle with, these are really easy. They're the Eyelure pre-glued lashes. So they already have glue on them. You literally just take these off and stick it right on their lash line like a sticker, and it stays forever until you want them off. So this is a big recommendation. I'm not going to do them today, like I said, because it's practice, but if I was putting lashes on, these are the lashes I would use. Okay, now last but not least, the lipstick. Every DDC team for every single event will have a signature red lip. So this is one of the options that we have. It's Maybelline Super Stay Ink liquid lipstick in the shade Pioneer. There's another option by Lip Sense, and the shade is Fly Girl. So if you have either of those, they will work. so this is the final face. If this was a competition day, I would spray it with setting spray, but it's not. So just to recap, we have a really good foundation, concealer, setting powder base. We have bronzing powder, contour powder, cream blush, powder blush, highlight. The eyeshadow, this is the one I like. That's Taupe by ColourPop. We have black liner, black lashes. False lashes are Eyelure Pre-Glue, that's what we'll use. And then the lip shade we use is Pioneer by Maybelline in this Superstay formula. We're gonna film the hair video now, and if you have any questions, feel free to leave it in the comments.